In the last video, we found that to go from this point to this point is about 64 degrees according to the map and the protractor. But that's not the whole story, because there's a difference between grid azimuths and magnetic azimuths. And that's just the nature of how maps and earth science works, because where all the lines on the map meet is called grid north. That is a static point and does not move, because that's what all our maps point to. However, magnetic north is a changing geographic position that changes with the Earth's polar magnetic point, and it will actually change over the time. So our compass is going to point to this spot, whereas our map is going to act like this is north. So there's a difference there. So if we just follow our grid azimuth, we're not going to go to the right spot because our compass is pointing to a different north. So the way we compensate for that is with the GM angle. And you'll see this on most maps. Down here by the scale and by the map information is the GM angle. And that is just going to show you the difference between the magnetic north and grid north. The big star up there is true north. Don't worry about that. That's for other stuff. We just worry about magnetic and grid north. So for this one, it is a little over 11 degrees is the difference. So we need to figure out, are we adding that angle to make it 75, or are we subtracting it to make it 53? Because that's a big difference right there. So the little moniker that we use is GM Lars. When we're going from grid azimuth to magnetic, which we almost always are when we're plotting points and trying to get our direction, grid to magnetic, if the arrow is to the left, we're going to add the angle. And if the arrow is to the right, we would be subtracting it. So GM Lars, grid to magnetic, left add, right subtract. In this case, we are going from grid to magnetic. The arrow is to the left, the magnetic arrow is to the left of grid north, and therefore we are going to add this angle. So 64 turns into 75 degrees, and that is the angle that we're actually going to follow. We're going to line up and turn until the arrow points us to, if I can get to focus for me, there we go, right there at about 75 degrees there. And that's how you do it.